Hey, my friends. Well, wanted to touch base with you today before I got busy. Actually, I've been busy all morning. It's been a every day right now is a full day. Getting started early, working till late. Got up early and spent some time in prayer and in preparation for Sunday. I'm actually going to be preaching this Sunday at Beams of Light in Sapulpa. So, if you're in the area in Sapulpa, I'd love to have you out. But got ready for Sunday, getting ready for Sunday, and then did a 7:30 interview on 96.9 FM. So if you missed that interview with Jason Doyle, go catch it. You can go to the Freedom 96.9 website, and I think he's also on Spotify as well, so you can catch that brief interview, 15 minutes or so, with Jason Doyle talking about this run, this historic run down Route 66. Now, of course, after that, I went and refilled propane because we are living currently on the road in an RV as we are fully committed to this run for governor and this run across the state of Oklahoma down Route 66. They go hand in hand right now. And so me and my family were on the road and we're about to take off to go to our starting point for the day. And I will run 8 miles toward Sapulpa, going west out of Tulsa. So yesterday was an absolute beautiful day running through Tulsa, through the historic section of town south of downtown, down 11th Street, which is old Route 66, and they've just got it. They've got it built up so well, and the people that were running with me actually were local Tulsa residents, and they're like, "This is amazing. We didn't even know this about our city," and so there's so much to learn about our own cities, about our own state, and I'm getting a glimpse of that as I run through the state. But this has been just an incredible journey so far. As I started on March 2nd at the top of the state, northwest corner, north of Quapaw, on the state line near Baxter, Kansas, and so ran south through Quapaw and then Commerce, came down through Miami, met some great people along the way, including Charles Du Bois at the Dairy King, a little landmark site, burger joint that's been there for, I think, about 100 years, actually. They've owned it for about 40. And Charles actually logged over 100,000 miles running himself. It was part of his own weight loss journey, and he just kept going. So it was a big inspiration there. Go through Miami, met with Rick Aldridge, the chair of the GOP there, tremendous guy who started a homeless shelter and is serving the poor and the least of these in his community. So just a great example up there in Miami of Jesus, and he's not asking the government to help. He's actually out there doing the hard work himself, which I think is a great model and something we need to see implemented more across the state. The government would do less and need to do less if we, the people, and the church stood up and did what was needed. And man, Rick was just a shining example of that up in Miami. Of course, ate some good food through there at the Main Street Cafe, and then trudged southward towards Afton. Well, Chelsea, and let me see, I'm losing track of the. Well, I guess Afton, and then Veneta, and then Chelsea, and then Foyle, and on south of Foyle to Verdigris, and then Catoosa, and then in through Tulsa, and that's where we're at today. So it's been about 120 miles so far. I always have to bring up the landmark statue of Andy Payne in Foyle, Oklahoma. Not many people have heard of Foyle, and not many people have heard of Andy Payne, but he's got a statue erected because in 1928 he ran 3,400 miles across America. He's a Cherokee native from Oklahoma, just made a historic run. He won that race in 1928. And the thing that caught my attention is he started the 1st of March and he ended at the end of May, just a little longer time frame than I am running my 400-mile race across Oklahoma. I run 400 miles in 66 days. He ran 3,400 miles in a little longer time period, but that blew me away. So I'm finding these people that are inspiring me along the way. Like I mentioned, Charles Du Bois, Andy Payne, and coming through Veneta, Pastor Lunk of Emmanuel Church in Veneta. We had a great worship service there with his church, and then went out and knocked doors, prayed with people, told them about the campaign, and man, Veneta's on fire. So great things are happening there, and got to meet the Miller Pecan Company there in Afton, over there by the Buffalo Ranch, and great people there managing that, and some amazing pecans. Come on down into Claremore, and we had to taste the Front Porch Bakery and the back Porch Coffee Shop, and both of those were tremendous. But all of these small town local owners of businesses, getting to hear their stories and getting to learn what's important to them, man, that's what this race is about. So, then yesterday, as we're running through Tulsa, a young couple met me, and she was 30 weeks pregnant. 30 weeks, yeah, 30 weeks pregnant, running with me. She didn't make it the whole way, but the fact that she went any of it was just amazing. So, all of these people are just so inspirational. Had a lady drove out from Coweta into Tulsa just to meet with me before the race. She just came out. Her and her husband were on a date night, but they came to meet me before their date night to say thank you for coming out and being with the people. And I'm telling you, I can't tell you how much that meant to me. So, what it also highlights is how off the rails our political process has become, so that this kind of effort stands out so strong that someone would drive across town to say thank you. It is a tremendous effort. I will have to say it's taxing on my body, and it requires our full commitment. But the politicians, the representatives of the people, should be with the people. That's where they should be. It should not be a big deal or surprising when someone running for office is out with the people. That's where we should be. So I feel like I'm just doing what I should be doing, and the lady yesterday really just blessed me for coming out saying thank you. And, of course, we have our critics and those that are saying, what are you doing? This is a stunt. You're wasting your time. Nobody cares. Well, I beg to differ. I know that in our campaign, we have seen sign requests, donations, speaking requests. All of those have gone through the roof in the last 2 weeks. So people are watching and paying attention. I appreciate all of you who are, and those who are sharing on social media. That's huge. I can't tell you how big that is to be able to share this on social media. But people are watching and tracking along, encouraging us along the way. And so we believe that this will result in victory, that this will overcome the millions of dollars of gap between me and the other candidates. This is what distinguishes me, is that I am here of, by, and for the people, doing whatever it takes to stand in this seat so righteousness can be in the land, as opposed to simply buying airtime or buying more mailers, or, this is something I really hate, paying people to knock doors or paying people to put out signs. That might be a good question. You could ask the other candidates if they knock on your door, or if you have a chance to ask them. You could ask them, hey, are you paying door knockers? Are you paying people to put out signs? You might be surprised. Find out who's doing what. I refuse to do that. I actually had a young man over at Rogers State University come up to me, and he said that he was currently supporting one of my opponents, but he would love to come behind me. He said, your opponent is actually paying me to put out signs. Would you be willing to do the same? And I said, absolutely not. No, we do not pay door knockers. If you believe in this cause and you want to fight for the future of your state and you want to fight for freedom, welcome aboard. Come on, do whatever it takes. But I'm not going to be paying someone to support me. That just feels wrong all the way around. So if you want to jump in and you believe in this cause and you want to fight for freedom and join me, then hey, come on, join the thousands of others who are joining us. It's beautiful. It's exciting to watch. We have door knockers. We have door knockers giving so much of their time, even some of them paying to print their own mailers for this cause. They believe in it so much. So I'm humbled, honestly. I'm humbled and thankful. Wade, man, it's good to see you. Your family is an example of why this fight is so needed. I'm just still grieved that a great Oklahoma family was driven out of the state because of judicial corruption. And so we must, and I will address corruption in the state of Oklahoma. It's unbelievable, Wade. So we were praying for you and your family. I know that God has you. I know you know God has you. But we want to have you back in Oklahoma. So hopefully that can happen down the road. Just to give you a heads up, I'm going to be starting at Ollie's Station, a historic restaurant on the Route 66 map. I'm going to start there today. That's where we ended yesterday. And then I'm going to just be jogging 8 miles towards Sapulpa down historic Route 66. This is part of the 66-day journey across the entire state of Oklahoma to connect with the people of the state. It's part of the campaign for governor, and have my makeshift studio set up here on the route. So I'm going to try to do more of these. It's been a little bit of adjustment, obviously, to adjust to this schedule on the road, and we haven't stopped our regular schedule either. So we're still going. Tonight we're going to Antlers, 2 hours away. We'll drive back in, get up tomorrow, and run again. So hey, what would help tremendously is if you shared this with someone. Share this with the local news. We did have Fox 23 here in Tulsa cover this, but if you could share this and ask the media, hey, why aren't they covering a gubernatorial candidate who's running the state of Oklahoma? I would think this would be something noteworthy and newsworthy to have on the nightly news. And so if you think so too, be sure to tag them and ask them if they would be sure to send a reporter out. I'd love to talk to them and tell them why I'm running, because we want righteousness in the state of Oklahoma. We want representation for the people. We want smaller government, not bigger. So these are the reasons I'm running. We need massive reform, and it's going to happen. All right. Checking some of the messages that are coming in here. Man, lots of go Jake goes, run Jake run. And I appreciate it. So what I was going to end with is just had a conversation last night and today on data centers. I know this is of great concern to so many people across the state. And, you know, the lady that I spoke with, her name's Kelly. She's from Rogers County. As we were running, she was walking with us for a portion of that run yesterday. And she just shared with me her experience of how she's been dismissed by the Rogers County City Council, the one that is meeting to consider all of these data centers. And there's lots of concerns about possible conflicts of interest with members of the City Council, also on the boards of these LLCs that are bringing in these data centers. So, you know, and it seems that when people question this and bring this to the attention of leadership, they're shut down. We just saw Darren Blanchard arrested for going over his time. I understand if you need to be, you know, if you're over your time limit and you're asked to sit down, but to be arrested for going 30 seconds over your time seems a bit extreme and a bit tyrannical. So the people are concerned that they do not have a voice in their own cities, in their own districts, in their own counties. And when the people's voice are being shut down, that's when the people's voice needs to get louder. And it is. People are speaking up. And you know, the secondary issue, it's connected, but secondary to the data centers. Whatever you may think about the data centers, people have a right to speak their mind about it, in favor or opposed. And those who are opposed and have legitimate concerns need to be listened to. And it feels like, and more than just feels, it's actually the case where people are being shut down. So big concern there where people are being shut down, and we're going to continue bringing attention to that. So let me know your thoughts on data centers. I've been speaking about this all over the state. It's one of the primary questions that's brought up everywhere I go now. Not, education remains kind of at the top, one of the common concerns across the state. How are we going to improve our education system? Judicial corruption is up there. Data centers are up there, and probably the top 5 questions I'm being asked right now. And here's my response to it. I'd love to know your thoughts on it. There's a lot that I don't know about data centers. I will acknowledge that I'm constantly talking to people. I actually spoke with Darren Blanchard this morning. He's up in Montana doing some work up there on the same issue. But I'm constantly talking with people about this to learn more. But I do think there is a case to be made for what President Trump, has argued, that China is advancing their technology with AI. We need to be on the leading edge of that. So I agree with that. Here's my conditions for data centers coming to Oklahoma. Number one, they pay their own way entirely. No prop-ups, no subsidies, no tax credits, no carve-outs, no corporate welfare. These billion-dollar companies, if they want to come to Oklahoma, okay, you can come, but you're going to pay your own way entirely. That includes a mandated behind the meter. So last year in our legislature, they passed the law for behind the meter that allows an industry to create their own energy production, own energy infrastructure. And it must have a natural gas tie-in. So I like that. I support that. What I want to do is take that further and actually mandate that for these data centers. So these data center companies, they pay their own way entirely, no carve-outs, no subsidies, and mandate behind the meter. So they would also be paying to build their own energy infrastructure to power their own data center. Secondly, the closed loop water system, I think, is the way to go. From what I know about these, we have a 5 to 7 million gallon draw of water per day. Okay, that's a tremendous amount. It's not sustainable. So I would want to mandate that closed loop water system so that this water is recirculated, it's recycled. There's a bit of it that's evaporated. That would be replenished, but that would be a minimal amount compared to the 5 to 7 million gallon a day. So I would want to see that. And then I would want to see them properly zoned. So keep them from being plopped down right in the middle of our cities, near schools, near neighborhoods. We need to keep them in the industrialized part of town, the industry section of town. And then the proper sound barriers, of course, around them. I personally have not been close enough to a data center to experience the sound, but I've talked to many people who have, and they say it's very intrusive. And I couldn't imagine living or working next to one of them. So we need the proper sound barriers, which are also applied, by the way, to oil rigs and derricks whenever they are drilled too close to a residence. Then they're also required to put up sound barriers. So we would need that. So those are my conditions: fully funded by the company, mandated behind the meter, closed loop water system, properly zoned away from our neighborhoods, schools, businesses, and the proper sound barriers. So I think with those parameters, we could live with data centers here and actually leverage them, because they could be great sources of income for the state if they're not destroying our natural resources and becoming a nuisance to the residents. So if all of those conditions are met, I think we can leverage those to actually be beneficial to the state and even use them possibly to help fund education. So let me know your thoughts on that. I love feedback. But like I said, that's fresh on my mind this morning after the conversation with Darren Blanchard this morning, with Kelly from Rogers County yesterday. This is very much on the minds of people up here in northeastern Oklahoma. And I know in other places as well. Even down in my country, they recently put in a data center. So let me know your thoughts on that. I'm going to get ready because at noon today, in less than an hour, I'm going to kick off my run. We're going to try to run over there and meet the owner of Ollie's Restaurant. Like I said, a historic restaurant where we're going to be starting. And then I'm going to start my 8-mile journey today. So pray for me. Stop by and see me. If you can catch me on the way, I'll give you a t-shirt. Okay. So catch me on the way. I got a box of Jake Merrick for Governor t-shirts, and they're yours if you can catch me on the way. All right, guys. And also be sure if you go to jakemerrickforgovernor.com to the volunteer page, you can fill out that form and request a sign, a shirt, to host an event, whatever it may be. You go to jakemerrick.com/volunteer, fill out that form. That's going to put you on the radar of my volunteer coordinator, and she'll make sure you get what you need. So we work as a team, all volunteer team, to connect with you. That's one way to do it. Also go to cjakerun.com. Okay, cjakerun.com. I'm trying to keep that website updated frequently so you can track me on the run. I'm going to do that right after I finish this. I'm going to update it so you can track my run today. And that's all I got. But God bless you guys. Thank you for your prayers. We're advancing on. We believe in a better Oklahoma, and we're fighting for it. So thank you for fighting with me. I'll see you next time.